Happy Thursday. Welcome to Community Connect with Gerwin and Pash, except Gerwin is on vacation and we have our special guest co-host, Mr. David Cieslinski. How are you, David?
I'm doing well, Pash. How you doing?
Good. And so since we're going to go with that, Big Dave to people who endearingly know you that way. So we appreciate you, helping out here. And actually, I think it's kind of like almost like fate that we have you on the show with our guest who's coming on in a few minutes, Mr. Isaac Kissi. You have a little bit of history with him, right?
Yes, I had the opportunity to work with Isaac when he played for the Rochester Rhinos.
Yeah, and he was very successful there and a good part of the community. Obviously, our community, the local one, definitely knows all about Isaac. So, Dave, not that we need to delve too much in it, but aren't you also, you're a little bit experienced as a podcaster yourself?
Yes, I am. I'm part of a team. It's called the From the 55-Yard Line. It's a podcast that covers the Canadian Football League and some of the alternative leagues outside the NFL, Europe, Mexico, things like that.
Yes. So, and your experience, because I've watched an episode or two there, and obviously you guys do a great job, and that we're trying to emulate that, I guess, where you get some people following and then you get commenting and that sort of thing. So appreciate you kind of laying the groundwork and showing us the way.
Thank you.
So, all right. Well, people came here to see not about us and talk to us. It was more about Isaac. So let's real quickly, let me give you a quick little background about Mr. Kissi. So he attended the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School in his native Ghana, studied for 2 years at the University of Ghana before accepting a soccer scholarship with the University of Dayton here in 2007. He then played 3 years of college soccer with the Flyers. He was selected to the Atlantic 10 All-Championship team and the UNCW Courtyard by Marriott All-Tournament Team as a sophomore in 2008. After that, he ended up signing with the 2010 MLS SuperDraft with Chivas USA. And when the contract didn't go through there, he ended up signing with the Rochester Rhinos and made his professional debut on May 19, 2010. But the reason why we have him on the show is not all the soccer accolades that we can delve into. It was really more about the healthcare side of things. He is an RN BSN. He is also the owner of Beast Mode Coaching. And a quote that was in one of his earlier interviews that I really liked, kind of saying the essence of why we have him on the show, is he said, being a nurse practitioner, specializing in family psychiatry, because I feel like a majority of what is going on medically is going to have a mental component to it. It's about time we pay more attention to that, and it's my way of trying to make a difference. So that really resonated with me, and I think more people just need to hear the story of Mr. Isaac Kissi. So with that, we'll introduce him to the stage.
Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
It's good to see you guys. Such familiar faces. The guy on the right side, David, used to take care of me when I was with the Rhinos, and the guy on the left side, I used to yell at during the games.
We don't need to. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and hopefully we treat each other all in a very, we're all different people. We're all accepting of each other.
Yes.
So Isaac, why don't you? We have a lot to talk about as far as what you can offer, as far as an example to our community and how you kind of support with some unique programs. But before we do that, I gave a little bio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are? Anything that maybe I missed? Anything more you had delved into?
I'll start to say sometimes when you stay prepared, you don't need to get prepared. And that pretty much, started how my journey got around. I remember some college coaches from the States came to Ghana to recruit some players from my local college, University of Ghana in Legon. And I just finished, because I was trying to get into pre-med. So I just finished one exams. And I came around, the guys were playing, and they're like, yo, there's some people from America here to recruit players. I literally borrowed their friend's cleats, and I got on the pitch. And that is all she wrote. Just play the last 25 minutes. So that 25 minutes literally changed not only my life, but the rest of my family. And I got on the field. I used to be a midfielder, so I was kind of playing around, enjoying myself. And the coach was like, "You want to come to America?" I was like, "Sure." Who doesn't want to go to America? Because America's always been that beacon of hope for everybody back home. So, and that's how my journey started. Came to Dayton, played for the Flyers for about 3 years. I ended up graduating early because I had enough credits to graduate. Played for Chivas USA. I still kept in touch with Bob Lilly for the Rhinos back then. So when things weren't working out with the Chivas with injuries to my knee, he goes, "Let's come over." So I ended up playing with the Rhinos, and listen, they changed my life. And after the Rhinos, I too many surgeries, with my knees, so I ended up giving it up, and had a terrible experience in the medical field. So I was like, I want to go back and do better. So I went to the University of Rochester, got my RN BSN, and voila.
That's awesome. What a great story. We're beneficiaries of you ending up in Rochester, so we appreciate that journey. So you kind of hinted on why you ended up in the medical field, right? Because you just saw a need. So tell us a little bit as coming up to where we are today, and when you started going back to school and finishing, and tell us a little bit about that, where you've been and all that in our community as far as service.
So, the whole community part of community service part of my journey has been. I think it started with the Rhinos. We used to go to the inner cities to read to the kids, and initially I was really like holding myself back. I'm like, "Ooh, how can I speak good English?" But then I was like, you know what? I graduated college. I can do okay. I can read to the kids, and sit in front of the kids, reading to them, and they were really engaged. So I was like, oh, this is something I can, build on. And I was like, not only can I just do the soccer part, I can also add healthcare to it, and it will go a long way. So any moment or any place I found myself, I try to, incorporate what I was doing and how to get more engaged with the community. And it started with even going back to Ghana with a group of medical people from Cleveland Hospital to go do surgeries in the local hospitals. We went to some of the villages, did hernia repairs because it was a farming village, like lipoma resections, thyroidectomies, and it was fun. I mean, excuse the big medical words, but thyroidectomy literally just taking your thyroids out. Lipoma is like a little fat pad that comes out of looks like a big pimple that people can get rid of, and we excise those. And hernia repair is just a lot of hard stuff can pull your intestines out of into your muscle fascia there. So it's been a good journey of giving back, but then also it touches your heart because I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about people, and I don't really need to make a lot of money to make a difference. So it's been my journey. That's been my journey so far, and I'm still working on it because I'm back in school, working on my master's, and I think it's a path to give back to the community more.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're here. That was what I thought was the ringing out was the part you're giving back to the community without any regard to what you're getting out of it. I think that's a big deal. Do you guys hear that little bit of feedback?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Something rather than sorry. Anyway, Dave, you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Now, guys, with your master's, what are you looking to do with that then? How does that shape and go to the next step?
So I actually started at U of R doing a Psych MP program. A lot to do with psychiatry. Midway, I lost my dad in 2021, and it became tough because I think he might have had a stroke during COVID, and I couldn't get him here in time for him to get better medical care. So I actually wanted to add the acute care part of things to it. So I enrolled in Brockport University for their FNP program, and that's family nursing, family nurse practitioner, where I can take care of kids and adults. And I pretty much challenged myself that I can do, instead of just focusing on the adult side of things, I can add the kids to it. So, I can help kids sometime when I go home here. My goal is to stay in the community in the acute setting, get some experience whilst trying to do some preventative medicine or healthcare, where I go in the communities and teach or help them or bring awareness to things like blood pressure, diabetes, especially in the inner cities or in the minority dominated communities. And I think, I will talk about it later, but that's a big need for that.
Definitely. Well, I mean, that's exactly the thing that we were just talking casually. The one item that came up that I said, wow, this could inspire others, right? Because if I can be honest, and I hope you're okay if I share this, you were not reluctant to be on the show. You were very careful. You're not a boastful person, and I know that, and anybody that knows you knows that. I think you were concerned that if we highlight what you're doing, we're kind of saying, "Oh, look at Isaac Kissi," right? And I'm going to say it on the recording because I want people to know you were concerned about that. But my point of view is, and I think you agree with this after we discussed, right? You might inspire someone in their community that you might never be in a community in California. Someone might watch this, right? And all of a sudden they go, wow, if he did that, I think I can do that. And then they do it, and then they help these people you'll never meet. And to me, that's valuable. That's what's good about our society or our humanity, I guess, right? There's a lot of bad, but I think you represent this example of what could inspire someone else. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, it can sound a lot when you talk about yourself and not to feel like you gloating, but coming from humble beginnings, I grew up in a community or in a family. We were not, well, if you want to put a math to it or economy wise to it, grew up poor, but my parents did a great job making sure we went to college regardless. And to have this first opportunity to come here and to get to where I'm at right now, sometimes talking about yourself can feel a little bit much. It's so easy when somebody or David's talking about me, and David's doing the talking, and that's okay. But when you have to do all the talking, sometimes it can be a lot. But it's also to shine a light on the fact that you don't need to, like I said, have so much money to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Through our journey in life, sometimes God will give us snippets of what He wants us to do, and if we really pay attention, sometimes that's the way to go. We might be fighting for something that we've been working on for years, and it's still not going through. And sometimes God is telling us, "Listen, maybe you don't need to do this. There's this
not yet, right?
Not yet. There's this other path I want you to go through first." Because I thought I was going to make millions playing soccer. I love the game, and God, said, maybe you can touch some lives through this. And it all started, going home first and seeing a smile on your siblings' face, your parents' face, knowing that they're so proud of you and how far you've come. And, going back to your old neighborhood and making a difference with coaching the kids and helping the kids out goes a long way. Then the big part was when I was able to go home with a medical team to go make a difference. It was really humbling, but a lot of people might not see, but to me, it was the biggest thing I've ever done in my life. It can't even compare to playing soccer or scoring that winning goal against Pittsburgh or something. Because back home, because of our healthcare system, it's not the greatest. When you hear that your family member is sick, it's like a biggest red flag. You panic and you want to make sure they're doing okay. So bringing awareness of some of the things that we took for granted here back there went a long way. So it's been an amazing journey, and I was happy to have meet certain people in my path too. And I gotta give Dave Cieslinski his flowers now he's here. I mean, it wasn't easy being in a professional setting, but we have the likes of him to keep us in a somewhat of a straight path because we were little kids with a little bit of money, a little bit of fame, and it was so easy to get derailed if we didn't have people to look up to or people to give you some advice here and there. So Dave, thank you. You played a part. Where I'm at here, right now, and Pash, even though I yelled at you so many times when you ran out games,
You really didn't. You really didn't do that bad. Because I was usually right.
because you had a whistle. I couldn't overwrite that, but we've developed a relationship after playing, and I mean, like it's a family thing.
Yeah, yep, that's family. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like my mom came over, and I was trying to get insurance for my mom, and being so oblivious to the healthcare system or healthcare market, you were the first person I called when I found out that that's what you did. And you were able to point me to the right direction. So sometimes our paths cross in certain ways that
100%. So, like, not to interrupt you, and I just did. I apologize, but it's important. It just coming out of me, like, right, is that I didn't want it to go all about soccer, but let's use soccer's analogy. You can tell someone who's passionate about what they do. You can tell someone who's passionate but has still respect for others and for the game and for their teammates, and not just about referee, player. So there's times when people would give grief, and I respected it. Like if you said something to me, I listened to it because you didn't do it every call just to hear yourself, right? So I knew something about you. I didn't know you as a person all the way. You didn't know me as a person, but I knew enough about you that I respected you, and there were individuals you played with. I felt the same way. Why does this matter? Is because as I'm now trying to share this information about good things in our community, this was not a far stretch for me to call you, or to reach out and say, hey, would you have any interest in? It was natural to me. You could have said no. You could have a lot of things, but like you said, I think there's a bigger picture. There's bigger reasons why people's paths cross. If you think it's just because of this small little piece, maybe you're not looking deep enough. So, not to get all philosophical, but I'm Greek. That's what we do. Yes. But anyway, so Dave can speak to that. He knows a lot about that part. So.
But Isaac, I wanted to say thank you for those kind words. But players like yourself who wanted to do things in the community made my job and others that much easier. I mean, you were in the locker room. You knew that there was guys who wanted to be involved and guys who didn't. And it was, and when we found people who wanted to be, unfortunately, we went after you. But the part is hopefully through your time, we made it worth your while. We really tried to limit the, we wanted to have a point to the appearances, not just to send people out for the sake of sending them out. I mean, we did a lot, like you said, with the kids in the community around the stadium, and that was a goal from number one, is to make that connection, to make your time in Rochester more enjoyable than just coming in for 6 or 7 months, playing soccer, and then leaving. So obviously, and sometimes we've done our job, and you're still here, and you're a big part of our community, which is great. Thank you.
And I think to both of you guys, both of your credits, that is why I feel any of these health programs that you might run, they'll have success because of all that groundwork you did of just volunteering time. You are one of the most popular players on the team at the time because of that outreach that through Dave and the organization seeing that importance, but also you being a part of that. You guys together did that. So now when you have this concern about people not getting their heart, the blood pressure checked, and you say, hey, and because I want you to talk about that program right now, actually. So, but when you do this, it's going to have some people are going to listen. Oh man, I'll go check that out. Or some younger guy might bring his parents there because of you. So go ahead, talk about that.
So we started this community outreach program. I think it started from nursing school from U of R. So I'll give them credit. And to pass one of our assessment classes, I think we had to go to the community, pick a topic, and work on it. So during my research, I found out that diabetes is such a silent killer, especially in the African American community. And I was like, where can I find places where you can find a good group of African Americans congregate? I was like, the barbershops. Great place to have, conversations about anything and everything. So we had one brothers and sisters. I think it was on Dewey Avenue, and then one of the girls I went to nursing school with. I think her dad was a barber at Dixon's Barber on 403 Chala Avenue. I actually, texted them, called them, make sure it was okay to, talk about his barber shop and everything. And since then, that's where I go to cut my hair now. I went there. I was like, hey, can I set up a table here? And during some of my time off, just when I come to cut my hair, just check blood pressure for the people that come to cut your hair. And it's like, sure. I made a poster. Then a few people came in, and it was such an eye-opener seeing ages from 21 to 68, 70 coming to cut your hair. And I'll say 95% of the numbers I got were all off. High blood pressure. Some of them were on meds, and some of them did not. They didn't even know they had high blood pressure. And then they go, I wonder why I get so tired and I get these headaches when I exert myself so much. I was like, dude, you need to go in and get checked out. So they allowed me to set up a table. All I had was my stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff. And it went a long way. Every year, every summer, there's like, listen, you bring a lot of people into the shop, just come in. I don't have to pay them anything. They don't pay me anything. That's my way of giving back to the community that actually accepted me when I got here first. And it's been an eye-opener that such a small thing goes a long way, because not only do we talk about their health, sometimes I talk about, hey, you should go to the health market to look for insurance, because one of the backdrops or problems they'll say is, I don't have any health insurance, sadly to say. And I wasn't well versed in that, even now. So good that we connected, Jim, because, during your downtime this summer, I'll set something up where you can even bring a table there, and you'll be surprised some of the people you meet and some of the education you can give them about how to look and find sustainable health insurance to go a long way. They'll be cutting their hair. We can have conversations, and it'll be amazing. The kind of exposure, you touching that hair.
If I walk into the barber, this is what happens when I walk into my barber. Yes, I have one because I did. When I walk in, I go, here comes the easiest money you made for the day. You just
cut the sides.
And I appreciate you saying that, but I'm very well aware. If you remember, I was a teacher in the city school district for 20 years. So I grew up in the city. I know poverty as well. And it starts, the kids are only byproducts of what the parents can or are able to, or even if they're around, right? It's all about all of these other factors. And now you have this individual child, and it's like, how do we make sure they have healthy habits? And that is not easy. We don't always know the answer to that. But I will say, a sports figure, in my opinion, or someone that they've seen, if the children have seen you and get any kind of vibe, and they're like, oh, go see this guy, and then you say it, they'll listen. They're like, listen.
Not to gloat, but even my barbers now, there's 3 of them there. Mr. Dixon, Matthew, and there's this rotating one that comes in and out. He's had this blood pressure issues, and I was on him, like, take your meds. He was kind of iffy about the side effects of it. I'm like, dude, you have kids. You want to stay alive for them. Take your meds so you can be, don't worry so much about that side effects. And they've done a good job about keeping a good weight, so they don't have to up their medications, the doses on their medications. And listen, anytime I come there, some of the perks that I get is, listen, Isaac, I know there's a lot of people here, or sometimes I even get a text, hey, because they expect me every 2 weeks. Like, if you're coming through, just let me know. I'll make you cut the line, because what the exposure you bring and what you help what you do for the community goes a long way. And I'm telling you, it's touching. Dave, when I set things up, I'm going to invite you. Just swing by. It's an eye opener to just hear people from different backgrounds talk about their health, and to the point where they sometimes open up so much they overshare, because they get vulnerable when you tell them the truth. You shouldn't be eating this 6 pounds of oxtail every night. You're not doing yourself a favor, So it's touching, because somewhat I feel like I'm doing that to honor my dad. I wasn't able to get him here to kind of keep a better eye on him. With all the red tapes you got to cut through to bring somebody here from Ghana. But I know he's proud. That's always been my goal, to make him proud. And I know my journey is not just starting, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
So we're glad, by the way, those events you tell me about anyway, because I will do everything in my power to promote them for you, whether I'm involved or not. But people just need to know these things. This is the whole goal of this show. Let people know about the good things that are around, because they don't know. And if they do, imagine what change you could help impact. So
thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. And I say that for the whole community, not just me for this show. I mean, for everybody that you've already helped that maybe don't verbalize it, because that's the one thing I know of, as when you're a school teacher, you don't always hear or understand the gratitude that might be in the hearts of the individual. Kids can't always verbalize. Families aren't always able to. So I'll say it for them. Everyone you've already helped, and the people you have not met yet, the people that will see this show that might make changes in their communities because of this one little episode, that you were not just courageous, not that you lacked courage to do it, but you were not sure if it was going to come out boastful or not. But because you stepped outside your comfort level or whatever, it's going to help. It will. There's no doubt in my mind. So, Dave, I'm sorry. I know you're muted, and I know you got stuff going on. Any other questions for Isaac?
No, I just muted because my 4-year-old's in the next room. So we all he doesn't need to be a part of the show. So
I appreciate it.
I'm just curious as well, Isaac. What's your connection still with soccer? I know it's a big part of your life. Are you still, for the people watching outside of our group? What part of the game are you still involved with? Are you still playing it out? Are you still putting the cleats on?
So, I think I'm still playing, but I have these 20-year-olds and teenagers just running laps around me, and it's good to see. But I'm still involved. I've been working a lot with Mark Mandel, the manager or co-owner for Roc City Boom and the Lancers. I've worked with Soccer Sam, with the Lancers trying to play indoor. I tried it one season. It was too much beating on my knees and everything. I was like, nah, I'll stick with outdoor. But I did manage. I was the general manager for the Roc City Boom for like 2 years, and we had a good season. We won both years. But now, being school full time, working full time, being a dad, it's a lot. So I'm cutting back, but I still stay with my over 30 teams, playing indoor and outdoor with the Ukrainian American teams, and it's fun. I feel like at some point you just gotta reel it in, see what you can do and what you can't do. But aside that, I coach through my business, Beast Mode Coaching. You guys can find me on beastmode-coaching.com. And I do small group training, one-on-one. I mean, from 8 to I've coached pros. Haj Barry that played for North Carolina. Anytime he's in town, we train together. Do collabs with Omar whole soccer training.
Yeah.
He's one of the great guy that works with a lot of kids in the community. He gives out a lot of his time. Omar, George, we do share, training times, and we help out with the kids. One guy I'm gonna give a lot of props to is Mark Mandel, and the other owner of Roc City Boom. They do a lot. I mean, during COVID time when some of the inner city high schoolers couldn't get a lot of college exposure or exhibitions, we organized, and they organized like a game, and invited Niagara, U of R, the school right next to us. I'm drawing blanks, but the coaches came around to see some of the kids play, and it went a long way. Giving back and helping kids that have limited resources. So yeah, I'm still involved, still coach when I can, and I'm excited for the summer because we get to play in an Open Cup league in an over 30 league, so you guys will still see me running around.
Nice.
And I have a couple of clients that have already started asking me to coach them, but just trying to find a good balance, family time, school, and coaching.
Now, you can let the 20-year-olds run all you want. All you got to do is hang around like 10, 15 yards out. You'll finish it every time. You just got to yell to them, find me, and I'll score.
Yes, I draw a perimeter in my head, and that's where I stay at. Just find me there. I'll tap it in. I don't need to do too much. Just I'll tap it in, and a goal is a goal. So
absolutely,
you're the vet now. Going back when you first played with the Rhinos, you were looked upon to do all that. Now they have to feed you. Just feed you.
That's all. That's all I got to do.
Yeah,
it's exciting. It's exciting. It gives me a chance to trim this dad bod down.
Yeah, right. That's a dad bod. So actually, lots of wonderful stuff. And we'll definitely add all the links to all those things that you just mentioned. We will add into our descriptions, and even your good friends who I also know from the soccer field who have theirs. If you'd like us to promote and share that, we're glad to do that. And unless there's anything else you want to throw in there, we're ready to give you the Connect 4 questions. If you got something else, you have anything else that you want to say before we do that?
Oh, no, not really. Just want to say, let's love each other more. There's a lot out there, hug your children when you can. Life is fleeting and short. If you can make amends with people that are in your life that you feel like you can make amends, do it, because you might not have the time to do it, and just love, love it goes a long way, and it's freeing. It lets you sleep better. That's what I believe, I've come to learn, so that's just my little 2 cents.
I love it. No, I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
So
Thank
now, thank you for that. And again, people will benefit from just hearing that message. All right. So here we go. Connect 4. All right, Dave, let's go.
Question number 1.
God.
Now it's just the 3 of us. No one else is gonna see this. What is your guilty pleasure TV or streaming show?
Oh man, I love Game of Thrones, but now since it's over, I've been watching. Well, this is tough.
Come on, it's gotta be something like, come on, give us the Housewives of Atlanta, or come on, the Kardashians. We gotta get something good. I don't want to hear Game of Thrones or something like that.
You ready? Naked and Afraid.
Oh my God!
It's terrible. It's amazing. It's an amazing show. Vulnerable. You are in your most vulnerable spot against the elements.
Yeah,
it's like my journey. It's a little crazy, but I like it.
That's okay. There's no right or wrong answers here. You just answer the question.
Okay.
All right. Question 2. What book or podcast are you going through right now? And don't feel obligated to say our podcast.
Well, I gotta give you guys a shout out, but yes, aside my books for school, I've been reading The Price We Pay, and it's by Marty Macri. It's about like what broke the American healthcare system and how we can fix it. It's pretty interesting how things are profit driven and how we can fix it. And in my own small way, I feel like outreach, preventative care will go a long way.
Good. I think I got to read that.
Yeah, good choice. Come on, number 3. I am not going to read the second part that Jim put in about he had to give some extras about this. What is your superpower?
Ooh. Oh, the superpower I wish I had?
Something you naturally do better than. No, what is something that you do naturally better than others? Something that you're just naturally better. It doesn't have to be like flying or anything like that. Just what is it?
I'll buy you some time and give you Jim's example about how I teach his children through the cruelties of life how to be better people. I'll go a little more in depth. In my early 20s, after graduating from college, I would come over and I would graciously teach Jim's oldest son the values of life through
how old was he?
Humiliating him at Madden football.
How old was he?
12.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah, younger.
Yeah,
younger.
Younger.
It was my kids at games at 8 years old. They'd be like, "Yeah, I got to teach them about life." I'm like, "You guys spoil one."
I'll be like, really? Who's this guy?
way too competitive. It was.
Well, that's
it was
Dave's superpower. He's the guy who teaches about cruelties of life. That's his. What's your superpower?
Life is crazy.
Look at the success Ryan is today. You're welcome.
I think one thing I'll say I'm good at, which sometimes I feel like there's a negativity to it, as I care too much, if that's the thing. I think it was from my upbringing, especially how my mom raised us or how my dad raised us. That was tough, but I needed that. Sometimes we forget that we need the toughness. I know we all fathers now. We don't get our flowers enough. I feel like I didn't get to give my dad more of his flowers because I wanted to give him more. Now that I'm doing well in life, I wish he was around more so I can even get him to the States so he can come watch me even play my over 30 league. But one thing I've learned along the way is, when you care, it's okay to show it, and I take pride in that. So I always challenge myself to do better in my field. And that's why I'm working on my master's. How can I give back more? In my little field, how can I be a better nurse? How can I take care of my patient better? How can I go over that curtain of, I'm just coming to work to pass meds, and approach my job as I'm actually treating a human being. So anytime I remind myself when I get to work that you are going out there to go take care of somebody's brother, somebody's mother, somebody's grandparents, it changes my whole scenarios, my whole energy. So if I'm tired, I'm burned out, one thing that keeps me going is you care. It's okay. Go do your best. So I think one thing I'm good at, maybe I care too much. And sometimes it can be heavy carrying that load, but it's okay. I've accepted it. If that's what God gave me, I'm okay with it.
And it's good that you are, because if I had to answer it for you, that's exactly what I would have said about you. Just so you know, I'm not just saying that. That's what I would have said, literally. But okay. And question number 4: what is a habit that you would like to improve on? So it doesn't have to be a necessarily a bad habit, but something that you're like, man, I really just want to work on this thing. What would that be?
Get sleeping more. Just sleeping more. I mean, God, I feel bad for my parents sometimes looking at them like, oh, this is what it is being a parent and an adult. It's too much. I mean, I sit down there, I look at my daughters, and I'm like, I gotta make sure this one goes to college. I gotta make sure this one is okay. And I'm like, oh my, I can't even sleep. Worry so much about them, and school and everything. But one thing I want to do is just sleep. I sleep better. Get 6-7 hours instead of the 4 here and there. And I remember I gotta do a quiz and I just wake up. Okay, gotta go. But I think I'll do better. Just get some good rest.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say to you, I'm sorry, Dave, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, the key is squeeze a nap when you can. Half hour. Don't be afraid to do it.
Okay, duly noted.
And I was just gonna say that how I even switched careers was because of the words from my son. And what he said was very. It was just a moment, and his words to me when I said, all your mother and I want for you boys is, do something that you're passionate about, and the money won't matter, right? And he said to me, well, why would him and his brother, why would we listen to you? You don't even do that for yourself. So that's a very poignant moment that you got to go, you know what? And this is, I'm saying it to you, Isaac, is that, you got to get sleep because they need you to be rested. You need to show them everything. If you're the caring person that I know you are and you truly are, that'll be good for them to see too. You know what? We have a lot of stuff. We have all that, but we got all that's secondary. The priority is we're healthy and we love each other, and that'll make it through. So anyway, maybe you needed to hear that. Who knows? Maybe that's how you will get some sleep. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It's been great, and we could definitely go. If we just did this about soccer, we could still be going. But I think as far as the idea of what we had in mind, I believe, and I hope you feel that you've expressed quite a bit for people. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you absolutely for having me. I look forward to sharing more people that want to come on your show. I think there's some good people out there. I'll keep spreading the word, and I'll share that info with you, and you make it call. And whatever we can do to help. My phone, my door is always open. Let me know. And Shrika says hi, by the way. He said you need to organize one so we can all sit at the round table and go at it.
Maybe a different podcast. Community disgruntlement with Pash. Hang the ref.
What grinds Jim's gears?
Oh, Jesus.
All right, we got to go.
We'll get in trouble for that one.
All right, well, Isaac, with that, I'm going to let you go. Thank you again. We're blessed for the time that you shared with us. I'm going to kick you off the stage. We'll just close up the show. Feel free to stick around if you want to talk a little bit after, but if you got to go, I understand we all got families. But thank you again, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Good night, guys.
Good night. So that was awesome.
Well,
Yeah, that was cool.
It's good catching up. Great catching up.
Yeah. So and you as a debut as the substitute co-host, I appreciate you very much for joining us. And I do think just again, must be a plan out there where you got him well on a whole nother level that that we as participants in the soccer game didn't have. So thank you again. And if you're up to it, maybe we'll have you again. Would you want to be a part of this again?
Put me on the spot right on live broadcast. Yeah, sure, I can definitely help it out. But I'm only substitute. I'm not sure where this Gerwin character is. He
Gerwin is on vacation, so he can lose his spot. We're gonna call it. I don't know. But anyway,
joke.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But thank you. And no, you're supposed to remind me because what I forget all the time is what I told you.
So actually, he's on assignment for a committee.
Oh, is that?
That's what he has to do. He's not on vacation. He's on assignment.
Oh, so they can write that off or something? Nah. Yeah. Good thinking. So, anyway, with that being
Thank
said, this is what I normally forget. Please watch, now that you watch it, thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and share this with others that you know. And kind of like how Isaac mentioned, if you know of anyone that you think would be a great person to have on the show and highlight some of the good things that are being done in our community, please let them know about us, have them reach out, and we'd be glad to have that discussion and figure it out. Okay. So everyone have a great week. We'll see you next week. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Good night.